Episode is brought to you by the Old Dominion Athletic Foundation. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Become a member today.
Yeah. Hello, Monarch fans, and welcome to the Hudson Homers podcast. We got CB here and Coach Finny as usual. CB, how's it going?
I'm great. I saw some different sports with the boys on the road this week, and I went and saw the volleyball and women's soccer. Had some spring games. Went and saw those on Saturday. That was a nice full day, and I saw the men's tennis yesterday. Had their last one, so it was and made sure I still caught the games, most of the games, keeping up with the guys. Sitting there. My parents at the volleyball had the game on the phone, sitting there in their lap watching. So it's good. Nice to do a little different.
That's awesome. I always see Coach Chow out at the baseball games. I see
Yeah.
women's lacrosse there a ton. I see tennis. So glad we could return the favor a little bit.
Yeah,
Coach
well,
Finny
Ricky was out there watching the tennis, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ricky's always around. But
Yeah.
Finny, when'd you get back on Sunday night, Monday morning?
We got back about a little before 2 o'clock. So that's why the bag's under the eyes. I tell you what, I'll say this, Marshall, they built a really nice ballpark, perfect size for them. They do, I mentioned this on the broadcast yesterday, they, from an administrative standpoint, they put on a good production, with their PA and their music and the ushers and the things they do in between innings. They really run a good product out there. So, those are things, hopefully. I told Ted, I said, every time you're on the road and you see something you like, write it down and make sure we mention it to our people, because there's always things you can learn. And I think Georgia Southern, we've got some teams in our league that really, Georgia Southern is very much that way. It's it's an event, and it makes a difference. People come enjoy it, and they really do a good job. They have a police officer, and he's not on duty. He's just in there, is Marshall Green, and he's a bigger guy, and he sits right next to our dugout. And great fan. Great fan. Very friendly, not abusive at all. Really cheers hard for Marshall, but had all the best lingo, man. Because his seat is 3 feet from where I'm standing. They'd hit a fly ball, and he'd say, "Oh boy." He goes, "Did he get it?" He goes, "Nope, it's a Lieutenant Dan. Didn't have legs."
No legs. Ball ain't got no legs.
He would say that every time, man. And, he had some great sayings, but we just got to talking to him before the games.
Yeah.
We're standing around. It's super nice guy, a lot of fun. And been coming to Marshall games ever since they built the stadium. He goes, "I never came to games till they built this, and now I miss a game." And so those are the kind of things that a real nice ballpark can gain you in terms of fans, for sure.
Yeah. As long as we don't play that little DJ sound effect after every single out that we get, that would be my only thing, because you could hear that coming through Ted's broadcast quite a bit on Friday for sure.
I end up not hearing half of that stuff miraculously. Like somebody will say, "Did you hear that guy's walk-up song?" I'll be like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
No.
Thinking about baseball.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't hear half the stuff that goes on out there. So good. We had a chance again yesterday. 5th straight series. We've gone into Sunday with a chance to win the series, and haven't won one yet, and it's super disappointing. And again, we got behind, but we fought back, took the lead, and we had lots of chances. We left playing. I think it wasn't because they played great yesterday by any means. They made 4 errors. They were doing their best to let us have a chance to win too. It seemed like. but we had, the first inning. I mean, we don't score in that first inning. We got first and third and 1 out, and we got bases loaded, 1 out, and don't score. And then we left some out there for sure, so that's disappointing. And, the middle of the lineup just didn't do much this weekend at all. Outside Mavs 3 hits on Friday, but, they pitched just pretty tough. And, we manufactured some runs on Saturday to win, and again on yesterday. But we've got to be better with guys in scoring position. Certainly better with guys in third base and less than 2 outs, and that's the game. When you get the hits.
Yeah, and I feel like there were a lot of hard hit balls deep in the center that got caught at the track or right in front of it too. I know F almost got one out of there. I thought the ball would be carrying because I could see the flags blowing straight out to center, at least on Sunday.
It's a big park. And it plays bigger, I think, than the Dominican. Friday, the wind was blowing out. And I think, Mav hit 2 balls on Saturday that would have been out of there on Friday for sure. Mm-hmm. We had a couple yesterday. I think TJ's ball is center and maybe Will Johnson's ball to right center get out if it's Friday. But their right fielder made a real nice catch on one of Mav's balls on Saturday to rob him. But yeah, it's a big park. You gotta be able to put hits together to win there. Because what was it, two home runs hit on the weekend, I think.
Yeah, that was it. And the one on Friday that Marshall hit off of Kuski, I mean, that was the most wind assisted home run I think I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, that one got up in the wind and got out of there for sure. Yeah, and the wind was.
Did they make it a little bigger because of they like the Colorado Rockies thing where they're up in the mountains a little bit, so you made it a little bigger to account for that? Or
that's a great question. I don't think the ball carried. That's the second time we've played there, and the ball hasn't carried much. And they say it doesn't. Now Thursday the wind was blowing out, the ball's flying out of there, and the batting practice goes out down the lines. The middle of the field plays big. Going through the games last week, I guess starting with William and Mary on Tuesday. Where did we go there? Tuesday?
Yep.
Yeah. And, we played pretty good baseball. I think, 10-run rolled them and got a bunch of big hits and just jumped up on them kind of chilly night. And, it was a good night for us to get the bats going. We had a bunch of guys get an F swung the bat real well for us.
Yeah, 4 hits.
He's gotten, he's swung the bat good since we got him back in the lineup. So that's been a plus for sure. And we pitched pretty good. Friday, man, that little lefty Blevins, we just hadn't done anything. Of course, nobody really does.
Yeah.
I bet his 3 starts against us, he's averaged 7 innings and 1 or 2 runs, giving up maybe at the most. So he
looked so frustrated he couldn't finish off the 9th.
Yeah, I know. But they throw him a lot, so he hangs in. He's pretty impressive. I mean, he keeps the ball, at the knees or lower, and he just floods the strike zone and just kind of suffocates hitters, man. It's kind of a little bit of a throwback kind of guy because he throws 85, 86. 3 pitches for strikes, and they're all at the bottom of the zone.
Crafty vet.
He is that. So I'm glad we never got to face him again. At least I hope they passed this 5 for 5. He's got another year.
Yes.
That'll kill it. But anyway, and we, Kuski actually didn't pitch poorly. He gave up the home run the first, and they got one more on a. They got a single and then a pass ball, wild pitch thing. The guy advanced up, and they scored on a double play. That was the 3 runs he gave up. And then we sent him back out for the 6th. That may have been a mistake, but when you're down, by 4 or 5, you on Friday, you think about the game differently than you would Saturday or Sunday, because you've got 2 more games to play, and you just, unless you have a very deep pitching staff, with plenty of arms, which we don't, you got to kind of just manage innings and save your best bullets for, if you get back in the game or for the next day. And our guys that came in just quite simply did a poor job. They didn't do a good job. They let them expand the lead, and you end up getting beat 8-1. So it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I think bringing Kuski back out for the 6 was actually pretty smart because, I mean, he had been super efficient. I mean, even with that, the plus inning he got there in the 6, he was only at 55 pitches when you pulled him. So, you think a guy like that who's, being super efficient and give up seven hits, but really ain't given up anything big since the first.
Yeah. He sometimes it's not just the pitches though; it's the up downs and he didn't. You're right though, Gary. He didn't have a lot of stressful innings, and so his last 2 outings have been better. I mean, I think that's if you're looking for positives, his last 2 outings have been better than certainly his first 3 in conference play.
Yeah.
So it does feel like some of the pitching is starting to trend better for sure. I mean, you're right. Obviously, some guys came out and didn't do their job, but they've done it before. But yeah, I mean, between Kuski and Gatti, you've seen some progress in the last few weeks, which is nice.
Yeah, Gatti, that was his 3rd pretty good start. I would say it's a quality start in a row.
Yeah,
the hot day, he kind of ran out of gas there in the 5th, but we had our best bullpen guys lined up to come into that game, and I thought they all did a really good job. I mean, Ben Tanton came in, did a good job. Bailey came in, did a good job. And Davis came in, did a good job. So those guys, they did exactly what we asked them to do. And offensively, I mean, I told the guys we bunted the ball well. And they kept screwing up the bunts. So, we'll take it. I mean, and Will Johnson had a big 2 RBI single in that game to kind of get us going. So and then we scored 2 on safety squeezes with Nick Felton. So we get a 4-1 win and even the series up and going to Sunday. Beautiful weekend to play all 3 days.
Yeah,
Sunday was no exception. It was a little warmer on Sunday. I mean, I've been to Huntington before in April when it snowed, so I was real happy. And again, we just get down. We had the first inning. I think the momentum just shifted, man, and we get first and third, and then we get bases loaded and don't score, 1 out and don't score, and then they come in and get 3, and you're like, golly, and it's hard, for the guys. They got to fight through the here we go again thing because it's human nature. And they did a good job of it. They helped us some. They made a couple errors and. We getting the 2 back, I thought was big to make it a 3-2 game. We were trying just to, that 1 inning, we had the guys on and we bunted again to make it 3-1 and first and third and we moved up and TJ got a big 2 RBI single up the middle to make it 3-2. And so you're back in, it's a 1-run game. And then we hang 3 on them. And so now we're up 5-3. And, I mean, having to go to your bullpen with 1 out in the first inning, man, it just, you can end up running out of bullets on Sunday, which is kind of what happened. I mean, I thought Maddox Jack came in and did a good job, like stemming the momentum. And
he made some guys look dumb at the plate too. Like he had that one dude down on one knee after a swing.
Yeah. And, again, we handled Maddox a little bit differently just because he's coming off Tommy John surgery and hasn't been, really more than 2 up downs in an outing. And we thought, J.O. threw the ball really good last weekend and it was time to get him in the game. And, he gets out of the first one, gets a double play ball, which was a rocket off the bat that Will, knocks down and we end up turning a double play ball on that. But he just made too many mistakes over the middle of the plate. So he hung the breaking ball to the catcher again, and he hit it for the double, and then they kind of nickel and dimed him. We didn't make a couple. We didn't help him. We threw a bunt away, and we didn't make a play on an infield kind of chopper. So you got to make those plays, and you got to be better if you want to win, and that allowed them to take the lead back. And we didn't do much. You get a complete game basically on Friday, you're saving some arms. And they didn't throw a lot of guys. Only threw a couple guys Saturday. They're better bullpen guys still to go on Sunday, and we didn't do much off Krebs, the reliever that came in.
He looked good. His stuff looked pretty filthy.
Yeah, and we were chasing too much. We have to get back to being more disciplined at the plate. I think the thing that went on this weekend is like too passive on fastballs in the zone and chasing too many breaking balls out of the zone. It's a terrible way to hit.
It's the opposite of what you want to do.
About that, exact opposite. What are you doing? We talked about being ready for the fastball. I mean, we got guys hitting in the middle of the order taking fastball strikes like the runners in scoring position. It's just we got to be better. And so we'll get back to work on that tomorrow and challenge them on that. And, you know, the second half of the season, I mean, is usually when you need to be more offensive because the wind starts blowing out in a lot of parks, certainly in ours.
Heats up, the ball flies more.
The ball's flying, the fields get harder. You just got to hit. And that's the thing. But hitting is not just about mechanics and what you're doing. Hitting is a mentality. And if you don't climb into that box as a confident competitor, you're already beat. And I think what happens sometimes on below average hitters is they default to struggle too easily instead of just get it done. I got a runner on third. I need to hit a fly ball. I'm going to go – I can just go up there and stand on my head and do it, but I'm going to do it, right? I got to get a bunt down. I'm going to do it. It's not – everything in the game isn't about the aesthetics of it. It's about the, you know, finishing the job.
That's, you know, Gary and I are watching the games and, you know, we're talking about like just the way Efrain Morales approaches batting. And it's very much exactly what you just said. Like, this is a guy, he's not going to get beat. It's like, yeah, it's going to happen here or there. Obviously that's just the sport, but he goes up and you can see the mentality that he is going to do what he needs to do in a bat to get on base. And it really is. You see the guys where that's not the case, where it's like, all right, I struck out.
I mean, it doesn't like whisper at you; it screams at you. Right. I mean, the guys that are dudes, it screams, and the guys that don't look like dudes, that also screams. Yeah. And so we need some guys to, you know, step up. At the end of the day, look, we got to at least go 8-7 to probably get in the tournament. 13, 14 wins is going to get you in there usually. And you need some tiebreakers. We don't have any tiebreakers right now. And we pretty much got, you know, we got to win, you know, certainly 4 of the 5 series. And you definitely got to win your home series. So to have a chance. And that's just the reality of it. And so let's do it. We got Richmond here on Wednesday and get into, you know, Georgia Southern's a team that's right around you, you know. So you're playing some teams that you could end up in front of if you just play better. So,
Now, a thing that to me, you know, I think like Gary and I here as fans, we can sit here and talk about, and like you were just kind of mentioning, you know, because you're looking at the bigger picture, what, you know, we got to win this many series to make, you know, what we want to be in the season. I would think that if you're in there and you're playing, especially for you guys coaching, you got to be just in the moment. Like, we got to win this at bat. We're winning today.
100%.
Like, you really can't think bigger about.
No,
like, it's not. There's no past. There's no future. There is this exact moment. We got to win right now because nothing else matters.
Yeah, and that's the way you should approach every game and every piece of competition.
Frankly,
and life.
Yes. True.
You know, I got a little thing on my wrist that says "Be here now," and when I catch myself thinking too much about future, I snap it. Because life's all just a bunch of nows, right? And yesterday don't really matter if you take the lessons, and you know that is the big picture. That's the reality of it. But you can't win, you know, 8 games on Friday. You got a chance to win.
I can't win 8 games with this at bat. I can't win 8 games with this pitch.
That's right. You got to win a pitch. You got to win at bat. You got to win an inning, and then you got to stack them. So. It's just a choice, though. I've seen teams do it. I tell the guys the story all the time. My first year at Auburn, man, 2001, we started off the year 16-0, and we're, I don't know, ranked second. We started off SEC play 0-9. We lost got swept our first 3 series at Mississippi State, at home against Ole Miss, and at Georgia. And we had Tennessee coming in, who was ranked second in the country. the fourth weekend. And the guys got it together, man, and we swept Tennessee. We ended up 5-10 in the first half because we got swept the first three. So we ended up 5-10, and we went 10-5 in the second half and finished 15-15 and like ended up in sixth place or something, and we're in a region.
Yeah.
So it can be done, but it takes some guys, you know, playing with a special kind of want to and feel and all those things, because the other guys aren't going to let you do it. Like, they're trying to win too.
Yeah, they have the same mindset you do.
Yeah,
they're doing the same lines, you know. And so, you know, you see, you know, even last year, I mean, we got to in a couple of those. I remember we had at Monroe and then Marshall at home, and then JMU, and we were like, we need to win these three series to get in the tournament, and we did. We beat Monroe, we beat Marshall, and we swept JMU. And so you can do it. You just got to have some guys like step up on the mound, on the thing. Right now, we're just pitching and playing good enough to win one game a weekend. And you gotta, you know, we gotta have some better starts so we can, like, you know, not use as many guys maybe in a win and have some more guys for the next one. But they got to do it, you know. Like, if you're not pitching good, we're not gonna keep running back out there. You know, and I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I don't think we've had over a 6-inning start this year. Maybe we've had 1 6-inning start. But there's some guys, you know, I do think some of the young arms are you know, exciting for the future. I think Jackson Okonkwo's going through a lot of same things. Guy like Hunter Gregory, Ryan Moore, they all went through as freshmen. I think Ben Tanton's been really good and very consistent.
Yeah.
I think Chris Cavalcante has got a chance, is in that same boat. And Maddox Jack, who's a redshirt freshman, is definitely trending in the right direction. And then Cole Lanford, who's also a redshirt freshman, is showing us signs of what he's capable of. He's been very roller coaster-ish this year, but when he's been good, he's been really good.
Yeah, he has.
And nasty, and he was that way in the 8th yesterday again.
He did.
So those 5 guys, you know, certainly for the future, look pretty good. So we're happy about that, and we just got to get some. You know, it's going to take some special performances. You know, somebody to have a 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, and you know, somebody to have a 6-inning, you know, 8 or 9 strikeout, 1 walk, 3 hit type of performance, like, and those kind of things. Interesting. I thought about this yesterday. We don't play on turf anymore. We play on grass and dirt every game the rest of the year.
Wow. And no road midweeks either.
And no road, 3 home series. All our midweeks are home, and then we play at Coastal and at Georgia State, who have grass and dirt.
Yeah.
So no more turf. That's kind of crazy.
That's interesting.
Our first 3 road series in the conference were all turf.
I'll be honest. I thought Coastal had turf. Maybe I'm just thinking of the football field.
Yeah, no, they got a beautiful surface, but it's natural.
They got beautiful everything. Yeah.
Well, that's one of their biggest majors, I think, is like golf course and landscape management down there.
That would make sense.
Myrtle Beach. Yeah, that makes sense.
They got a lot of interns very willing.
9,000 golf courses to work on down there.
Yeah. I also thought that Will Johnson played really well this weekend across the board. He had some really good competitive at-bats. His clock was good. It's almost like he got a second win. I've been thinking he's been running on fumes for a little while now and been kind of on him about, you know, his energy and those kind of things, and just wondering if it's going to come back. And I thought this weekend, I mean, he made a bunch of good plays, man. And threw out some guys that can run pretty well and was moving around, and, you know, so that was good to see.
I also think Tyler Zadala's at third has been a fantastic move, both offensively and defensively. I mean, he threw 2 guys out at the plate on Sunday, and that was big in those clutch moments. But he just looks smooth and polished over there at third.
He's been very consistent, right? Like he's making the routine plays look routine, which good infielders do, and he definitely has shored us up over there. Like we're not giving away outs over there at third like we were earlier in the year. So that's been good. He didn't have a great weekend, but I tell you what, man, sometimes it's just how it goes. They pitched him really tough. Yeah. I mean, they were dotting balls on the outside corner, and he had the one double on Friday. And then now he also swung at too many balls that weren't strikes. But they pitched him pretty tough. That can happen sometimes.
Do you think that there's a carryover from game to game? Like Friday, you face Blevins, fills the zone. Saturday, you face a different pitcher that's trying to go out of the zone. Do you think there's that carryover of like, I looked at too many pitches, too many strikes yesterday, now I'm going to be aggressive?
Could be. Yeah, could be. A guy like Blevins, like you need to swing more because pitches, even the misses are going to be hittable. Like they're close. And a guy like Harlow Saturday who's kind of spraying it, you need to be more selective. And I thought we did a decent job on Harlow. Like you said, we hit some balls hard that would have been some runs the night before. And, we didn't have a ton to show for, but we took our walks and we took advantage of their mistakes. And, and Sunday, we weren't ready to get that big hit. The moment got us, man. And that was too bad because that game was there for the taking.
Yeah, I think we're all waiting for that one more hit with guys on. Like, I mean, one single and it's a completely different game. And I mean, to the guys' credit, I mean, they made some hard contact. I didn't see exit velos or anything, but I don't think you hit it to the track in that ballpark in dead center without putting some ass behind it.
Yeah. The one that's going to go with you on that is the first inning because you got that and we don't hit a ball out of the infield.
Yeah,
just that can't happen. We got to be better. But we overcame it. We came back and still took the lead and couldn't hang on to it. So, positives we are playing overall better defense. Zach's got to catch those 2 cutoff balls, just plain and simple. Like they're thrown to you, catch them. They're not going anywhere with it. You just got to catch it. And that's just a focus thing for sure. And then we got to get him back going again. Like he's we got to get him out of the jar. So get back to work tomorrow and try to get him back going because, early in the year he was carrying us some games. We got to get that guy back.
Are teams pitching him differently now? Like I feel like they're pitching him backwards.
In more.
Okay.
We talked about getting off the plate a little bit because he's the guy that handles the ball out over the plate and hits it in the middle of the field better than he pulls it. Usually we'll pull the off-speed pitches. What good hitters do? They hit the fastballs to the opposite gap and pull the off-speed pitches. And he's been that way. Guys are really throwing him hard in. And today's hitters, for whatever reason, have this aversion to moving around in the batter's box.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Forever, when I was growing up, I heard Pete Rose say this. Guys throwing hard, you move back. Guys throwing soft, you move up. Guys throwing you in, you move off. Guys throwing your way, you move on. That batter's box is 4 feet by 6 feet. Yeah. And all you guys stand in the exact same spot every time.
I swear I watch games and especially I go to high school games sometimes and sometimes I'm right there either in the dugout or by the dugout. Sometimes I tell them, hey, move up in the plate, like the way this guy is throwing, like move up. And a couple of guys actually listen and get hits, because it's not rocket science, man.
No,
it's not.
It's angles.
But I think Zach's got to get off the plate, give himself a little more space. I think Nick Felton's one of those guys. We're trying to get him to hit the ball the other way. And he's got to get off the plate a little bit and let him. So some things like that. And, it's good. We got a practice day tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day. We're going to be able to get out there in some shorts and take plenty of swings and get some of this stuff worked out, hopefully.
Yeah. One of the person I wanted to talk to you about, Kellen Davis. I thought, we know he's a dog. He's a gutsy dude. He's going to go out there and pitch his ass off. But for him to, go back-to-back days, get a save, all scoreless. We want to give him his flowers, even though we usually do anyway.
Kellen Davis is one of the best stories. You know, I'll be telling Kellen Davis stories long after I'm done. Because those are the wins, man, I think. And not because of anything we've done. I mean, we've worked hard with him collaboratively. But that kid has just found a way to reinvent himself in a way. I liken it to what Jason Hartline did. He's a guy that spent the first couple of years trying to throw hard and then realized it wasn't going to be hard enough. And then I got to find a trick because if I do, then I can pitch more. And for Hartline, it was the cutter. And for Kellen, it's been that spike breaking ball. And
you telling me that if you adjust to the situation, you might have success instead of just banging your head doing the same thing? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy how that might work.
Yeah. Yeah, what a concept that is. You know, people that are recording this could actually, learn something here.
I mean, for more than just baseball too, I feel like you adapt or die.
And you're talking about a guy that, was a red shirt. And then we were like, hey, this guy's no good. He's a great kid. He's never going to pitch.
Yeah.
And then he figured and then he figured that, that spike breaking ball out, and he was a guy we could bring in to get out of a jam early in games and all this stuff. And then last year the role was a little better than that. And, this year he's been one of our best, late inning guys. So incredible kid, incredible story. Just the nicest kid in the world, just he's been so much fun.
I had my phone came up the other day. It was 5 years ago this past week. I went on a trip and I saw all of them playing their senior year of high school. Kellen and Blake Morgan and Luke Waters all playing in that same week. So that was pretty. Those are three guys who had some pretty solid Monarch careers. Got to see them.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Blake Morgan, all-time appearance leader. Starts.
All-time. Game started.
Game started. Yeah. And obviously Luke was up there for career at bats and all that. So and so Kellen, he went out. He was back to he kind of was back to himself. I thought this weekend. It's funny that his breaking ball. It's like when it's breaking. This sounds strange to say, but when it's breaking too much, it gets hit. When it's breaking more. When it breaks less than you think it's going to break, it's the opposite of what most guys. It stayed, and I'll be in the dugout and I'll be like, he hung it just enough. And it'll stay on plane, and the guy will pop it up, or and then when he's throwing it, I think it's when he throws it maybe too soft, it breaks more, and then guys hit it. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic. I don't even know what all the numbers say. That's just what I see. But he had it going back again, and that was good to see.
Yeah, he looked good. Obviously, Bailey threw back-to-back days as well. He looked good. A lot of young arms coming up, but I think some of your more veteran guys have evened out. It seems like a little bit, especially in the starting rotation for sure.
Yeah, we need those guys to figure it out, and we're going to do something different on Sunday this week. So we got to, I don't know what that is yet. We're still talking through that. To see who's the best option.
Winning. We're going to try that. That'd be a different thing.
That first. So,
gotta get a Sunday win.
It may be. I mean, there's plenty of, college baseball programs this way the last 5 weeks of the season. It's like we're gonna use everybody we got to try to win those first two games, and then Sunday, whoever's left, we'll figure out the best guy to start Sunday, whoever's left. So that could be that type of situation, and if it is, okay, and we'll do the best we can. That's where we're at.
Yeah. One other shout out from this week from the game on Tuesday. Jack Slater gets a start, is catching, ends up going 2 for 3, 2 ribbies, 2 walks. Thought he did a good job just kind of seizing the opportunity, got there, gave Mac a break, and paid off for you, driving in some runs.
Yeah, we started Jack because he's probably our best thrower of our catchers. And even Mary, was running like crazy up till then. I don't think they had a stolen base that night, but that's what happens when you get up by 10. But Jack caught good. He had got us going with a big 2 RBI single to right center in that game, and got another hit, and he was good, man. So that was good to see. And he'll probably catch He'll probably catch against Richmond, I would imagine.
Yeah. A good pinch hit option if you're facing a righty too. I think getting him up there.
Yeah, and he came in and whacked the ball, lined out the center.
Yeah, hit it well.
Yeah, and neat story about Jack. I mean, Jack got back from Jack's going into Secret Service, and he had his physical fitness test Monday in Richmond, and we were off last Sunday because of Easter, so we practiced Monday. So he drives to Richmond for Easter, takes his physical fitness test, which was, I think, as many push-ups as you can do in a minute, as many sit-ups as you can do in a minute, and then 1.5 miles you had to make under 12 minutes, and all in a row. So
I can do 1.5 miles in 12 minutes in the car.
I don't know. I've seen your car, Steve. Are you sure?
Yeah, man. Well, it might just barely.
Well, he gets back to do some catching work because we said, hey, you're going to catch Tuesday. Let's get you a little extra work. And then he came out and played really well. And I was like, man, we need to take your physical fitness test.
Yeah.
We may run
So tomorrow when you guys are practicing, tell them start running.
Later, you get running, push-ups, and sit-ups. Yeah. But that's such a cool thing. I mean, that he's going to do that.
Yeah, great.
His mom's brother, JT Tanny, has been a career. He's retired now, I think, but he's been a career-long Secret Service member. So it kind of runs in the family a little bit. So that's kind of neat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, elsewhere around the Sun Belt, I don't think we saw any near altercations with any dugouts or anything like that like previous weekend. But we did have some weird stuff. If you want to talk about JMU, they go to Charlottesville, they beat UVA in extras. Then they go to Georgia State and get swept.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my brain around that completely.
Well, Georgia State, playing at Georgia State is like going to another dimension of the 12. I mean, it's a disaster there. It's a bad junior college field set up.
You'll be there next week.
We'll be there. Yeah, we'll be there soon enough. And they're good. Like they're fine.
Yeah,
they can beat you. They got plenty of good players. They get them from all over the place. And you usually like to play them later in the year because they're just wore out from all of it. Because they got to drive like 45 minutes from campus.
Yeah.
And they're getting a new ballpark, so they'll be better for them and happy for them. And their coach does a good job. And you can, and it's a small park. I mean, you got to hit some home runs to win there. So
there's that one that's got like you can almost see like people walking. It looks like a city park basically.
It's
just like people walking on the side.
Junior college. There's a football. There's a city football stadium right next to it. It's not good, man. It's not good. So this will be the last hurrah for us there. But yeah, we'll be there soon enough. But you can get swept there for sure. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. And then Louisiana, the Cajuns get the series from Southern Miss as well. So I mean, the Sun Belt standings are just a beat down of everybody. I mean, you got us and Georgia Southern at the bottom at 5 and 10, but in the 3 spot you got Southern Miss, South Alabama, ULM, bunch of teams at 8 and 7. So I mean, it's still fairly wide open to get any of the seeding other than Coastal. Yeah, other than Coastal at 13 and 2.
And ULM lost to the Appalachian, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I know they lost Sunday. I think they lost one loss.
There.
Yeah.
So, and you got to, and then Troy lost their first one, then won a doubleheader at Texas State, I think, right?
Yeah, they played a double dip on the second day.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all got to start Friday. Like you hate to say it that way, but the team that loses that series is going to have uphill climb.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just the reality of it. You might as well just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're terrible. So, that's the thing about the league. I mean, the margin for error between winning and losing is usually pretty small. And it's, giving that bat away here, not catching a pop up there, not, keeping a guy off second, like all the little things that don't even show up in the box score oftentimes are the difference between winning and losing. So.
Yeah, and I guarantee that they're going to be pretty fired up because they're going to feel the same pressure that we're feeling. Like, gotta win this series coming in.
Yeah, without a doubt. And So just got to come out and match it and play good and decide. It's deciding time. Play to live, not play to die. So that's kind of what we're trying to do.
But it's a great weekend to get out to the ballpark.
And the weather's going to be
great
good.
weather.
The weather looks great all week.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Richmond Wednesday looks good, and the weekend looks awesome. Man. It's going to be upper 80s. So it should be really nice.
Yep. Yeah. Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Friday, 6 o'clock. Saturday is going to be at 3. So you can go to the spring game of football, then come on over to the ballpark. They'll have live music, plenty of fun stuff to do and hang out there. And then the finale on Sunday is at 1. So, I mean, perfect weather. You're going to see some good competitive baseball going on, other things going around campus. No excuse not to pop over, say hello, and catch out some baseball games.
Awesome, man.
That's my pitch.
You guys got who you got? JJ coming on?
Got JJ, yeah. JJ Gatti. He'll be on here in a minute.
The deepest voice in town.
Man, it is crazy. I told him he could just like talk. He could do the PA just by speaking regularly.
He does.
Yeah. It's like now batting number 10.
It's like turn your echo off. I'm proud of JJ though, man. He's
been fighting.
He had some rough ones early, and he didn't fold up his 10. He owned it and got back to work with our pitching coaches, and he's pitched much better the last 3 weeks, and that's the reason we've won on those Saturdays. So hopefully we'll keep that up, and I think that says a lot about the young man's character and his want to, and we always talk about if it's endurable, endure it. Like, and figure out how to, Winston Churchill said, when you're going through hell, just make sure you keep going.
Yeah.
He was going through hell, and he kept going, and he's fought, and he's gotten better. And the main thing is he's not giving a bunch of free bases. These last few starts, he's making guys hit the ball, and he wasn't getting hit. He was just walking everybody and giving up a bad innings because of that. So he's been much more efficient and, giving us 3 what I would consider quality starts in a row. So need him to keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to have him on. And Finny, as always, thank you so much for your time, especially after another late night coming back on the road. But we will definitely catch you at the ballpark this week.
All right, guys. Thank you. Go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs. Thanks, Ben.
The Old Dominion Athletic Foundation, or commonly referred to as the ODAF, was established in 1964 as a nonprofit organization. The mission of the ODAF is to raise financial support for ODU athletics to ensure that our coaches and student athletes have the resources necessary to compete for championships. The ODAF is integral to the success of ODU athletics and is the channel through which our fans and alumni can partner with our coaches and student athletes for the advancement of the athletics program. Through the generous efforts of our donors, loyal fan base, and community, the ODU alumni from around the globe, the ODAF raises money for student athletic scholarship support and endowments, capital projects, program-specific support, and athletic department operations. Funds are raised through annual giving, multi-year pledges, events, premium seating, and planned giving. With questions about how to get involved in one or more of these initiatives, reach out to an ODAF representative. Gifts to the ODAF are investments in the lives of our student athletes. ODAF members receive exclusive benefits such as priority points for postseason and away game seating, parking, VIP, and hospitality experiences, and more. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Contact the ODAF and become a member today.
All right. Welcome back, Monarch fans. Thanks, Blaine, as always, for the ad read there. Again, shocker, pretty realistic view from Finny. And this series is going to be a big one this weekend with Georgia Southern for sure.
Yeah, they're all going to be big ones. And I was just thinking of that yesterday, what I brought up there, that if you're one of the players, one of the coaches, you really can't think about that. For us, just being here as fans talking, we can think about it because we're not affecting anything. But for them, it's got to be like, we're just going out. What's the football team? I'll go 1-0, right? It's just, let's go 1-0 every single pitch, every at bat. Like, it's all we can do. You can only focus on the right now. We can't control everything before, can't control everything going forward. All I can control is this exact moment. And you just got to And like I said, it's what you want to do all the time, but now you're really going to lock in and make it happen. Now's the time to work on that and make that be what it really is just focus and win this moment.
And there's definitely been some times this year where I feel like, especially when we get down early and we're down 3, 4, 5 in like the first, second, third innings, like I feel like every guy's swing is, I'm going to get all 8 runs back now, all 6 runs back now. And it's just not the way it works. You gotta chip away at it and try to get yourself back in the game by having smart at bats, not trying to, hit everything out of the ballpark each time.
Ted said it already a few times. That's the whole, like, how do you eat the elephant? It's like, well, they're all trying to eat the elephant in one bite. So you're going to choke, you're going to break your jaw. Like, you're not going to eat the elephant. But if you just take a little bite here, a little bite there, just keep going at it. Eventually, maybe you won't eat the whole thing, but you'll eat enough.
Yeah, I'll give everyone who works in corporate America the chills here. Don't boil the ocean.
Ironic, considering that's what we're actually doing to the world, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, it's a completely different story on that one.
Considering corporate America is doing that, but that's fine.
Well, we're gonna have JJ Gatti on here in just a second, waiting for him to pop up backstage. But I figure since we got a minute here, well, no, JJ's popping on now.
I was saying, did you kick him out?
No. I think he was running somewhere. We're gonna get him here in just one second. But another really strong performance from JJ Gatti this weekend.
Yeah.
I think 3rd straight quality start. I don't know what the official MLB metrics are, but their quality starts. The
quality start in the major leagues is 6 innings and 3 runs or less. But I would argue in college, you throw 4, you throw 4 1/3, 1 run. I'm calling that quality, especially when you consider we have not been getting 4 1/3, 1 run most starts. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yes. Well, let's not tease it anymore. JJ, welcome to the show, man.
JJ,
thank you guys for having me.
What's up, man? Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I heard y'all had a late night.
Always a guy I love talking to. By the way, one of my favorite dudes.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, same here. I think we got some time to chat before the 3rd game of the series last weekend, just kind of what all was going on. But how are you feeling today, coming off the weekend?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, like you just said, we had a little bit of a late arrival last night, so didn't get to bed till pretty late, but ended up getting into the field today. We just had a home field, kind of getting in there and doing whatever we need after a long travel day. So it was good.
How does that kind of travel affect the classes? I know we talk all about the baseball, but occasionally we remember you guys are students. And I have to imagine with online work and maybe online classes, maybe it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, you didn't have to show up for like an 8 a.m. class today, did you?
No. In my case, I'm lucky enough that most of my classes are online. Nice. So I haven't had an early morning like that after a travel day, but that is tough. I know I hear guys talking about it, having to go to 9 a.m. or something like that right after we get back, because they do still have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's me. That was me last year when we did the Southern Miss trip, and I came back we got back at like 3 a.m. and I went to work at 8.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. But how was the double-decker bus ride up there, other than trying to find a tunnel that you could get underneath?
Yeah, that was good. I love traveling in that thing. It's got plenty of room up top. That's where all the players sit, and it's not bad having your own kind of setup like that anytime we need to go on the road.
Yeah, I saw Ted's video kind of giving a tour, and it was funny when he popped it to the player side. You saw a bunch of eyes come up and then heads go down below the seats.
Yeah, that caught me a little bit off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you at all on that. Well, definitely want to talk about the game on Saturday. You give 4 1/3, you give up just 1 run, 3 hits, get 4 strikeouts. How are you feeling going into that game? And was there any kind of pressure that you felt that was maybe a little extra after, we dropped the game on Friday to open the series?
Yeah, I felt good going into the game. I feel like I wanted to keep the momentum that I've kind of created a little bit in these last few weeks going. And as far as like the added pressure, I can't really afford to kind of give any attention to that. I can really only control as much as I can. And I feel like times where I'm maybe trying to do too much outside of what I can control, which is, the start of the game, and putting us in a position to win, it kind of just adds another element that doesn't make it as simple just going out and performing.
it's hard enough to pitch without needing all that extra stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. As simple as it can be, it's as easier that it gets. So that was kind of my mindset going into the game. I knew that it was a lot hanging on that game. I'm glad that we won. The big thing about it had been coming in behind me too. Like, he's such a stud. Yeah. And having him come in, you know, with guys on like that too, I kind of put him in that position, and he did a great job.
Yeah, we had him on a couple weeks ago, and he was cool, calm, confident. I was like, "Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, how old are you again?"
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a New York kid too.
Yeah.
So fun enough. But yeah, like I said, he's a stud.
Do you guys have beef about which is the better part of you? Because you're Long Island, right?
Yeah,
so you got, I'm sure you're like, we're better. You're up there in Binghamton. People don't even know where that is.
Yeah, he knows there's not really a debate there, honestly.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Well, just, you know, thinking about your season journey this year, you know, started out strong, kind of went through some tough times there for a couple of weeks, but the last 3 weeks you've bounced back. Tell us a little bit about that journey and just the work you've put in to get back to where you are now.
Yeah, that was definitely frustrating those few weeks. Kind of not feeling like I am putting us in that position to win. But it just kind of reaffirmed why I'm glad that I am here, that I ended up here, because just everything about this kind of situation that I'm in, that I found myself in, was like the coaching staff never really wavered there at all with me. And I feel like everything kind of stuck with me through that time, and it made it easier to kind of make it more simple going out and continuing to try to work through that. And that's why I feel like you've kind of seen these last few weeks, it's been a lot easier for me to go out there, and I've been able to put us in a better position.
Well, I know we talked to you at the banquet, but that's been a while, and the audio was much better this year than last year. But maybe people forgot or couldn't hear. Talk to us a little about how you ended up at ODU. People don't know you started out at Dayton. You pitched in 2023 as a freshman. I'm not sure, did you get hurt that year, or you hurt the next? I know you missed 2024.
Yes, I got hurt that before my sophomore season.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you got hurt. Yeah. So then missed the 2024 year, pitched 2025 for Dayton, had a pretty solid year. Then, so how did you end up at ODU coming out of the portal?
Yeah, I first heard from Coach Panic, actually, who he's the man. Like, I love talking to him, and he's great to have around for sure.
Yeah.
But he told me that on that call that I got to speak with Coach Marin, our pitching coach, and me and him connected really well. Like, he is just, I could go on and on about him. He's been awesome with all of us. And we had a few conversations. I wasn't really familiar with ODU at all, really, before I had been in the portal and they reached out, just because I didn't really know anybody that had gone here before. But when I came down here for a visit, I absolutely loved it. And every single person that I came across was just awesome, with me and my mom. They made sure that my mom had come down to see it with me. And like, on the ride back, we were pretty much like, there's no way that we can't that we can't come here now. I loved it.
Great.
And like I said, like, we've had a few rough stretches at times, but I'm super glad that I did make the decision. I've loved it, and I still have a ton of confidence in this group.
Yeah. Just thinking back to the past couple of weekends, and I've seen your family up in the stands. I've interacted and talked to them quite a bit. They're always loud and cheering from you. But I think that you might be the loudest person I've heard cheering in our dugout in ODU baseball history.
Yeah.
Like, there was a guy a couple years ago, Jason Hartline, and he was loud and consistent. And yeah, I got to be honest. Sorry, Jason, love you, buddy, but JJ has got the booming voice. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them say that my voice echoes.
Yeah.
When we play in the stadiums, it kind of carries pretty well. So. That's funny you say that. It's kind of been my thing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had heard it at home games, But it wasn't until we were at the Diamond at VCU where you've got, 13,000 empty seats in that bowl thing. And CB and I are sitting only 2 rows behind the dugout. And it sounds like we are sitting in front of you.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking of, actually, with the stadiums. It was really banging off the walls in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was constant. And you could hear the delayed echo all over the place. But
yeah, that game was exciting, too. That was a good one.
Oh, that was a great game. I mean, I think we were down early in that one. And I told CB, I said, hey, it's a midweek early in the season. We can hit. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Ping, ping, ping. Everything starts going out. But the entire time I heard you going nuts. I mean, it just tells a little bit of kind of, I guess, like the bonding with the teammates. Like you're always getting the guys fired up. I mean, just tell us a little bit about that and how that plays out in the dugout there.
Like I said, all the people who have interacted, I've been so lucky to come into the group that we have, because it's really like a collection of really good guys, and it makes it really easy to pull for each other. I remember that day, like we never thought at any point that we were going to lose that game, even though a ton of runs getting dropped on the board, the ball was flying.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to be in there. And that's something, like I said, that's always kind of been there for me. I'm super passionate, and, not pitching every single game, it kind of, when I was younger, that's like, I used to think that that's how I would impact the game. I don't know how correlate that is necessarily, but now I still love to kind of get everybody going. And if I do have that effect, I hope that I do have that effect on other people, but I can really feel it in myself that when I'm pulling for us, that's how I express it.
You just mentioned when you were younger, so now that had me wondering, high school, were you a hitter also?
Honestly, I stopped hitting before my junior year varsity season started, because we had an absolutely loaded team.
Yeah, you guys won a state championship year last year.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
We had double-digit Division I commits on that team.
Wow.
There you go.
I think we went 25-2, if I remember correctly, that year.
That's pretty good in baseball.
But yeah, coming from the Northeast, like we were pretty like that doesn't really come about as often, and we didn't really get as much like recognition. That's how we felt. Honestly, it's a little bit bitter, but it was a good
That's
squad.
true though. I mean, it's a real thing.
I mean, we've had some guys on that squad drafted too. My boy Joe Ariola just went to the Diamondbacks in the 7th round last year. So it was a talented group.
Yeah.
I didn't get to.
So
I believe that I could swing it though a little bit when I did play travel.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you had to go further back in the yearbook to tell everyone how great you were hitting. That's all.
Yeah. No, I definitely had my glory days at the plate.
Yeah.
For travel ball, summer ball teams.
What positions did you play other than the pitcher?
I was the primary first baseman. Okay. I played a corner infield.
Yeah.
So I would slide from third to first, but honestly, that was my most comfortable position.
I would imagine you're a bit of a talker, so I'd imagine on first you were a talker, but it wasn't like that's one where everybody can hear the entire conversation.
Yeah.
Usually it's like what are they talking about at first base, and now we know exactly what you're talking about at first base.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do you ever, and that's one of those, obviously you're a guy, you got all kinds of future ahead of you. You ever think about like someday like trying to do like radio broadcast, that kind of thing? Like I feel like you're
honestly,
natural for it.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be suited pretty well for that kind of thing, but I can't really say I can't really see past baseball as of right now.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll figure it out. I'm all for it. Yeah, play the baseball. There's plenty of life, man. It goes long after. Even if you have a long 20-year career, there's plenty of time after. So we'll figure it out. We're gonna make it happen.
Especially if that is the case, a long career like that, I would love to like hop into a broadcast booth.
Yeah,
or something.
Like a better Smoltz in the booth, I think.
Yeah, he's getting hated on lately.
Just don't hate baseball like he does now. It's so unfortunate. It's one of my all-time favorite players growing up, and he just really I get people who like baseball. Like I'm sorry, it's a
it evolves. The game progresses. Like and every generation is the same thing, and there's more guys that you hear that are more loud about it than others, but it happens every single generation. The game is always going to evolve.
Yeah, if you don't like it, just wait a couple years because it will change again. I mean, I've seen I'm not quite 40 yet, but I've seen the evolution change, I think 3 times in my life. So,
and it's been going well for the sport, I would say.
Yeah.
It's great. Again, I mean, our guy Ben Verlander is always sharing numbers, and he's talking about, you know, record numbers opening weekend, record numbers in the minor leagues, and it's just like people like it.
And college baseball has grown a ton too, because I'm catching some ESPN2 games now, and I think it's because people are making so much noise about there's nothing on ESPN right now, but you got 4,000 college baseball games on ESPN Plus. Like, let's put some of this stuff on there. So I think the exposure is just growing and growing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of that,
the brand of college baseball too is just it's so much fun, and like there's so much passion that goes around with every team and every kind of, you know, like especially when we get into conference, like you can feel that they're so much fun to watch, and they can.
Yeah, you're a big celebrator too. You're good for that.
Sorry.
You're a big celebrator too. You're good for getting that great reaction shot. You know, that was like the first weekend. I was like, we got a guy. Let's get him. You know, some guys it's like no matter what they do, they just walk off the mound.
Yeah, that kind of flows through me. You know, like I said, I think I said it at the dinner. Like that's not something that I ever plan out. That's not something that I ever like try to do or think about. It just kind of boils to the top.
Yeah. Well, take us through the pitches that you throw. We're trying to get a good repertoire for everyone who's coming through here. So tell us a little about your pitches.
So I throw 5 pitches. I throw a 4-seam fastball, and then a cutter, which is more of a fastball than a breaking ball. I'd say it's in like the fastball family, and then I throw a slider, which is a more of a sweeper, side to side kind of profile. And then my changeup is really my go-to pitch. I've been throwing that for a while since I was younger. It's the first off-speed pitch I learned. And then I throw a big curveball, like a slow curveball. Usually it's like 69, 70 miles an hour. But yeah, that's my thing. That's what I kind of try to do with all those offering, keep hitters off balance and try not to let them get, you know, comfortable swings off. I think that sometimes I don't even know what I want to throw in certain counts. So I know that hitters probably don't have the best idea. It usually keeps them off balance on their front foot.
And you threw that slow curve to end an inning against Southern Miss. And I could see it from where I was on the side. Like when it came out of your hand, it looked like it was going to be a fastball. And then all of a sudden this thing just like, and the hitter was so far in front of it, he was on his backswing before it came in. And that's what I was asking you about the next day. Like, what is that thing?
Right. Yeah. It's at least like 20 miles an hour slower than my fastball. So especially when I show the fastball after throwing that, that's what it worked really well for me against Marshall, kind of getting ahead of hitters with that. And then that puts them gets them out on their front foot and gets me, it helps me to throw my fastball by them more, or at least get them, like I said, off balance. But yeah, that Southern Miss call was good. That was actually Mac, because I had shaken off the pitch that we got on the watch, and then I don't remember if he had put down the right pitch or not, but he ended up going to the curveball. And if you watch it back, I had started shaking my head like pretty violently because I wanted him to go back to that one. I think it was a 3-2 count. And like I said, I'm pretty comfortable with throwing any pitch in any kind of count. I feel like that's kind of what helps me to get guys out. And that all came together pretty nicely because there was a guy on third, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was one of the highest leverage pitches you had in that game, and
right.
I mean, landed that thing perfect. It reminded me of Zach Greinke because he'd occasionally out of nowhere throw that gyro ball thing that he had.
Right.
Yeah. It'd be like 55, 60 miles an hour after just buzzed you with like 92, 93. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, and that's a good hitter too that you struck out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's always the one, the delta on pitches, you know, the difference. And that was like, I remember I watched Levon Hernandez a few times throwing in the big leagues, and it's like, yeah, it's his fastball is like 84, but then he's also throwing, he had pitches at 58 he was throwing. Yeah. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah. If you're in the box with, like, you know, when guys are in the box, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, like what, you know, as long as you can keep them between a variance of, you know, speeds, like that takes care of like the time, because the biggest thing is timing. Like if you throw, if you throw like a top level fastball, but that's all you really got.
Yeah.
Like hitters are able to time that up and keyhole that that's what you're going to throw. And it just makes it much easier to hit. Like not that it's easy to hit a very hard fastball, but if that's what you can guess and sell out your timing for, I think that even a hitter would tell you that probably puts them at better odds.
You see pitchers all the time that have like high 90s fastballs, but they're flat. They don't move. And it's like, man, guys will tee off on it. I mean, what makes a one effective that speed, in addition to the other pitches, is movement. But yeah,
right.
If you don't see a lot of big league pitchers have a lot of success with just one pitch that's a fastball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with the pro guys, they have their whole arsenal is kind of tooled to keeping hitters in that limbo.
Yeah.
And if you have the hard fastball and all you really have with that is like a hard breaking ball that you may or may not have command of, that just, like a hitter is always in the same gear that you're going to be coming at them with.
Yeah. I mean, our guy Yarby's with the Yankees, he's in his like 8th season in the big leagues, and I think he might be the slowest average fastball in the big leagues for the last few years, but he does exactly what you're talking about. He keeps them off balance with a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, that's Ryan Yarbrough, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun watching him. And then, of course, Dylan Brown and John Hollabetz have been lighting it up. And I watched all of John Hollibett's strikeouts the other day, and I think he had a different strikeout pitch for every single one, and it was wild.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they've been talking.
The other guy shows his emotion when he comes off the mound too.
Yeah.
Following the footsteps of the great John Hollabetz with the great reaction picks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I was thinking, JJ, you played at Dayton there in the Atlantic 10. How does that conference compare to the Sun Belt? Now that you've seen about half a season of Sun Belt play.
Yeah. I think that we definitely saw, at least I saw when we played App State and certain schools like Marshall too, that I wasn't really as familiar with. It's very deep. Like the Sun Belt obviously is like every team has some dudes on their team. The arms also, I will say, we see consistently much better arms. The A10 was more of like an offensive conference. You see a lot of like super high scoring games, which we haven't seen as many at all really here. But I would say, I mean, it's been a difference for sure. But the A10 is a solid conference.
Oh yeah.
There's not like
it is.
There's some solid teams in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like I think that any of these teams that we played against would do pretty well in the A10, especially considering, like I said, the arms, like the bullpen depth on some of these teams. Like Marshall was bringing out dudes, on a pretty consistent basis, and so it's pretty much obviously Southern Miss had a great bullpen.
Yeah, I always love to bring some guy out that it's like he's got 6 innings and 11 ERA, and then he comes out, he's throwing BBs. You're like, what is happening?
The talent level is definitely a noticeable difference. And also the top, and like we saw it a little bit with Southern Miss. There is, and we'll see when we play Coastal later on too. Some of these teams that like there is the upper echelon of the conference is definitely like those are the games you want to play in.
The Coastal series is looming there towards the end of the season, and they just continue to be a buzzsaw. But they did drop one this weekend to Arkansas State, who, Arkansas State has not historically been a strong college baseball power, but I mean, they're right in the mix of everything this year. I think that's why the Sun Belt's so tough. Like, I mean, we're tied for last with Georgia Southern, and I know that both of our programs are really good, and that's a little scary when you think about the rest of the Sun Belt.
Yeah. And also, like, I haven't looked at the standings in the last 2 weeks or so I'm not really as familiar with where everything lies, but I do know that it's been a little bit of a mess.
It is.
It's still every year. Always.
Like, that's what I'm saying too about the confidence that I have in the group. I think that like I have confidence in us to be able to go on a run here and like put ourselves in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, third place right now is a big tie at 8-7 in the conference. So like you're 3 wins behind being third. So it's still very much up to grabs. I'm glad to hear the guys are thinking that way too, because like it's still a lot of baseball to be played here.
So JJ, I want you to tell me something. What is better here in Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Virginia, than up in New York, Long Island? You know, the big time. What's better here?
Definitely. I will, and this is gonna be a probably biased answer. But maybe some people wouldn't really care about this, but the baseball setup that I have access to down here is just like something that I've never been able to have in my life, and I have always I've wanted to be able to play outside all year long. I've wanted to have access to like a field. You know, like we have such a great setup. It's obviously going to be incredible once it's all finished, the renovations and stuff like that. But even when I came down here, it was all still being rebuilt, and everything that we have is like I said, I've wanted a setup like that my whole life, because I'm sitting in my room right now. I can see the field from here. It's probably it's like a 2-minute walk.
That's
great.
And like it's awesome. It's awesome. So I will say that my home does not have the setup that I got here.
You heard it here first. JJ Gatti said that Norfolk, Virginia is better than Long Island. We'll clip that, chat. Clip that.
There it is.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, JJ, we greatly appreciate your time hopping on here and chatting with us. Excited to see the games this weekend. I know we'll both be down there, getting to see you work on that Saturday game. But just appreciate the time, man, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, no, guys, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I do enjoy talking to both of you.
Awesome.
Raymond, we enjoy it, man. Good luck. Keep killing it. Keep looking forward to hanging out, spending some time at the ballpark, man.
Sure.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, JJ.
All right.
Good kid, man. Yeah, he's a fun guy to talk to. You see right there as you talk to him, like he's very cerebral, very much a pitcher, which sometimes I think gets guys in trouble. You wonder if maybe that was the thing that was happening, maybe because I see him. I forgot to ask where we're talking to, but he seems like he charts like every single game, and I think he thinks. And so sometimes you wonder if guys think too much. I've seen that with guys before, but he's a really talented ball player and a really good kid, and it's good to see him have the success, and hopefully he just keeps pushing forward and gets even better here as the year finishes out.
If you can impress Finny with your work ethic, you're doing something right. And I think Finny made
stuff.
that pretty clear, that he's not afraid of the feedback and to go and get better, which is awesome.
That's one thing about JJ too, is he doesn't have that kind of ego that's just like, I know what I'm doing. It's like, no, he's the first guy to be like, hey, I need to get this better, this, and get better. He's going to tell you really, which is what you want. You want the guys who are aware of what they've got to work on. And even when you're having success, you want to have that. It's you're not down on yourself. It's just like, hey, we're going to make this better. That's how great players play better.
Yeah, and we've seen it play out the last 3 weekends. Getting those Saturday wins it's the reason that they're still in contention to do some good things this year if we can. So
we're not in such a situation where it's like there is absolutely no hope of digging out of this. Like, no, they just gotta go out and play, and good stuff can happen.
No way we're packing our tents up just yet.
No. Not me.
All right. Well, we're going to move on here to Players of the Week, plus a new award, and then something else. But
that new award might just be for the 1 week, but it was fun for this week.
Yeah.
But so speaking of JJ, he was definitely in contention for pitch of the week. 4 1/3 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ben Tanton was in the conversation too. Got the win coming in after JJ, 2 1/3 scoreless, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ended up off of Gary's suggestion, which I fully agreed with, Gilman to Kellen. A little bit just based on what he's been doing. But also he pitched in 2 games back to back, picked up a save, 3 1/3 scoreless innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He's been back to pitching like himself. Again, we know he's just such an important part of the team. And a few other guys, Maddox Jack, the inning and 2/3 there came in, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout. Cole Lanford did pretty solidly. He had 2 games, 4 innings, gave up a run, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And Bailey Matella, he actually pitched in 3 games this week. and I don't know how many innings he pitched because I didn't write that down, but it was several. Only gave up 1 run. I think it was about 2 2/3. It might have been 3 innings. I don't know why that didn't. And struck out 6, and however many innings he pitched.
Yeah, he threw two against William and Mary.
Yeah.
On
so it's
Tuesday.
probably 2 2/3. So I think he had 3 2/3.
Yes.
In 3 games. That sounds right. Okay. That's crazy. I just didn't write it
down. Like it was a year ago.
Yeah, weird. And so batting, we get Efren, right? He's hot. I mean, he had 7 hits last week, had 7 hits this week, 7 for 17. Added 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, walked 3 times, so got on base 10 out of 20 times. And scored 3 runs. So he had a great week. Will Johnson, Finny pointed out, right, for 5 for 14, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, scored 4 runs, had a great week. Zach Late, it didn't seem like he did a ton. 5 out of 17. It's not amazing, but 3 RBIs, a walk, a run. So again, he's not he got a little more on track from where he was. And then we had our extra special, might just be for this 1 week because it was kind of wild. Yeah, Nick Felton is our bunter of the week. He had six sacrifice bunts. Had 3 RBIs. I think all 3 RBIs were on sacrifice bunts. He also went 2 for 6 for the week. Had a couple of hits in the Sunday game. So it's good to see. I think Finny pointed out last week. He's like, I just want Nick to go out, play good defense, and get his bunts down, and that's exactly what he did this week. He made some great plays. That one really phenomenal catch out in center field. Bunch of other great plays and getting those bunts down, it's not easy. So we wanted to make sure we had a special little nod for him this week.
Yeah, I mean, he drove in 2 of the 4 runs on Saturday in the win, and very selflessly going up to plate with runners in scoring position to go and do that. Executed it well, and it definitely deserves recognition for that. And then also, I don't know if anyone calculates defensive runs saved in college, but he's got to be up there this week. Just the balls he's able to run down in the gaps, how quickly he gets it in. I mean, just doing a lot of great stuff to make this team go. So I think that's part of the reason he's bunter of the week, but ultimate team guy right here, and really helped us to win on Saturdays. Him and with the Will Johnson 2-run single. I mean, that's the difference between getting swept and getting a game at Marshall.
And it's a case of doing whatever you need to win. I mean, this is a kid who was on he's a 3rd team baseball All-American last year as a high school player. Mm-hmm. He's a phenomenal player. He could very easily be like, hey man, they got me ODU. They got me bunting every bat. I don't want to be here. I'm just going to pout and decide and just go in the portal and go to something bigger and better. Right. I got to, but instead I don't see that in him at all. He's a guy, we need to have him on here at some point. Seems to love being here. Seems to want to do everything he can do to be a guy and to play and develop and believe in it. And you saw how he has a unique skill set, and we're going to use that. And we know he can hit. And that's going to come and going to keep developing as he goes. So it's great to see a guy really buying into what they need him to do at the moment to help the team.
Yeah, and I think him bunting so much is helping him see the ball a little bit better because he was 2 for 6 outside of that. Yes. And what I'd seen from him before was just the timing with the leg movement, getting and that's something that just comes with experience and reps because he hasn't really gotten that many at-bats, plate appearances this year. So maybe this is the way to get his bat going overall, but you just got to highlight contributions to the team like that, where dude's like, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to lay down the bunt. Sometimes I'm going to beat it out because he's beaten a couple of them out too. By
that smash that he hit to the shortstop, the hole where the shortstop had to kind of dive back at it. And it's like, that guy has no shot because Nick is fast. And that's another thing. The more he gets on base, he's going to be a base stealer. He's going to be a guy who's going to get out there and take advantage of people. I mean, he played for Kevin Gibbs there in high school, who has the all-time record for ODU stolen bases. He's a guy who might get after one season. You get to see him as a junior, senior going out there, and he might be a 40-50 stolen base guy if you really wanted to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He also might be hitting the ball over the fence too much at that point to really take advantage of it.
Well, if he doesn't break the record, I hope it's for that reason because he's hitting too many doubles and home runs. That's not a bad.
He's a large kid. He's a kid that when he got to camp, the guy I'd seen him, before when they'd come for their official signing visit. And then, he's a big, tall kid, skinny, like most high school kids. And then when he came back and just saw him over the summer, he's huge. I mean, he probably had gained 20, 30 pounds of muscle. And you look at him, he's still pretty skinny. So it's one of those, like, same thing with TJ, that same kind of like, you see there's a lot of frame to build on here. You can keep adding muscle and getting bigger and maintain that speed. I mean, there's a lot to like about Nick Felton's future for sure.
Yeah, a lot of great work coming from the strength and conditioning side of things. Yeah,
TJ,
I mean,
Cade Kelly is a dog, man. That dude gets
is.
after it. He is all about it. The guys love him. And then Hana takes care of keeping him healthy. Yeah, we have some amazing support staff, that's for sure.
Yeah, Hana's one of the busiest people at a baseball game.
Yes.
I mean, she's in and out of the dugout doing this, that, and the other thing, all while watching, taking care of the guys, cheering the guys on, high five when they come back into.
Take care of all the little boys and their boo-boos, as sometimes it feels for her. Hana, can I get an aspirin? Hana, can I get a Band-Aid?
Comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, one more thing I know we wanted to plug before we signed off here, baseball cards. I can't recommend you all getting these enough.
Yeah. And so this is, and I have to be honest, if somebody's seeing this, I may not have gotten to some of the people who put in message orders just because I've been bad, but I will make sure that happens between tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, so this is the last week. We're gonna make sure we're gonna get the orders in. Might give it till next Monday, but we got to get them in to make sure they're here by the last series against JMU. So yeah, if you want the entire set, I put 50. It might actually be more than 50 cards, but the entire set, just one card of every player. Some people don't understand what set means. So one card of every player for the whole team, $25. If you want that, you don't have to get anything. You can, if you just want some cards of your own player, like, JJ Gatti, he's right there at the top. If maybe JJ's family just wants some extra cards of him, just tell me, hey, we want 10 of him, 50 cents each. So it'd be $5. Just whatever you want to do. If you want to get a set, some extra cards, you just want to get some cards of your player, you don't want to buy anything, that's fine too. And you see, I put on there, just reminder, I'm not making money on this. I've never have. I think, in fact, most years I probably spend a few bucks because I make sure everybody gets a few of their own cards. And so it's all just, we're just trying to make sure people have them. It's the thing I think I talked about doing for a long time. And my buddy Derek, he was looking at some old hockey cards back in like 2012 or something like that. And he noticed there was a place that made them up in Yorktown. And so we went and started getting them made, and they actually moved, and now we get the place out of Richmond. But they're pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite things I do every year. Every year, this is the time of year where I'm finishing them up, and I hate them. I think they look ugly and terrible, and they're the worst set I've ever made. And then by the time they get printed and come to me, I'm like, these are beautiful. This is the best thing I've ever done. So this is a fun week for me where I hate them more than anything else because I'm just staring, and I feel like I'm doing a bad job and letting everyone down. And then they come out and they're beautiful. And I feel like, well, that was silly that I gave that poor emotional effort to it.
Yes. Well, yeah, they do look awesome. And I also love, too, you get like the sports staff, and they were just talking about Cade.
Yeah.
I got his card from last year, front and back, pretty legit.
Yeah, they're real nice cards.
I usually try to order a couple of sets just because I got all kinds of nephews and nieces that are excited about baseball and all that fun stuff. It makes a good gift for them as well. And some of these guys in these stacks, like this Dylan Brown guy, I heard he's pretty good. John Hollibet's decent.
I know that was one, like Vinny Pasquantino, one of his first years, he was doing like a podcast when he was with the Royals. And they were like, oh, you got your first baseball card. He's like, no, man, I've had baseball cards since college. And he's telling about me making them cards. So yeah, it's neat. We've definitely had, what PJ Higgins just got back in the big leagues. I made PJ some cards, back in the day. He was in the first set I ever made, actually. PJ and Yarbrough, a couple of big leaguers in that set. Actually, 3. It was Overton was in that set too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at least 3 big leaguers in the first set I ever made. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. And I'm hopeful to get to see PJ play. I'm going to be in Chicago when the Reds are there. And I just, nice to have team events at baseball games, right? So we're going to go there and hopefully be able to see him get some action there with the Reds.
When is that?
Pitched the other night.
Yeah, he pitched there. When is that? Because we hope he stays forever, but I know he's up because somebody else is hurt. So he'll still be there by then.
The May 6th is when I'm up there. It's ODU's second game against Richmond. I'll be up there. So we'll see. Last time I was in attendance for a PJ Higgins game, it was up at the Nats when he was playing for the Cubs, and he hit a home run. Yeah. So
there you go.
We'll see what happens.
PJ's a great guy, man. That's a guy. And it's been 4 years since he was in the big league, so that's a story of a guy just staying with it, just kept on playing, and been with the Reds for about 3 years now, and they finally called him up because the guy deserves it. He plays a bunch of positions. He knows what he's doing. He's a pro.
I mean, he got a strikeout on the mound the other night. Not many position players can say that. So
it's fun.
Awesome. Well, definitely get your orders in for the ODU baseball cards. Got all the contacts here. If you're listening to the audio only, just pop over to YouTube, or also Hudson Homer social media will continue to push that out here over the next couple
find
weeks.
us on the social media, CB Sports Photography, Hudson Homers. Email cbsports757@gmail.com. Yeah, any way to contact us, we'll figure it out and make it happen. And then again, I apologize if I hadn't got to you. I'm working on it. I'm slow and bad sometimes. My bad.
We are overwhelmed with demand,
Yes.
but keep putting your orders in.
No, there already been a few. Yeah, people like them, and sometimes people don't know about them. So hopefully, we talk about here on the podcast. Maybe some folks that weren't aware. Just want to make sure everybody gets some nice ones of their kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, CB, it's fun as always. Appreciate all the fans tuning in, listening. Our social media things still continue to grow. Obviously, we're new accounts, so if you're not following at Hudson Homers on Twitter or X, please do. Same thing with Instagram. Get to see all of CB's awesome pictures out there, and watch me get to butcher them with my poor editing skills. So
I got to get on you about using more of the edited ones to share. You like to share the unedited ones a lot. We got to get you. Some of them I've gone back and fixed them up nicer now.
Yeah, I do try to.
That was cool the day of, yeah. But come on.
Yeah, for the road games. You're right.
Yeah, come on, buddy. Come on. No, it's fine. That's me. That's my nitpick because I'm a dork about that. It doesn't matter. They're all great, and anything that celebrates the ODU playing and us having a good time, enjoying watching it and being fans, I'm all for. So that's just me teasing a little bit.
You can always bet on by the time I figure out how to properly use a social media platform, it will no longer be a popular one. Like my MySpace page was legit, and then it wasn't.
It was excellent. You were coding like a monster.
Yeah, don't even need to do that anymore. So.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hope to see you out at the ballpark this weekend. Going to be some great weather and hopefully some really, really good baseball. It's going to be a tough series.
And it's going to be fun. So go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.